the finals, and she's also interned with eYantra. And we have Abhishek Rao, who has participated not only in eYRC but eYIC also, and he has also done an internship with eYantra. So we have two very powerful, e-Yantriks with us who will basically share their journey with you. And if you have any questions regarding the competition, you want to ask them something, so please put it on the chat window. The team will get in touch. So before I start, I just came across a very interesting quote by Brian Herbert, and he says that the capacity to learn is a gift, the ability to learn is a skill, and the willingness to learn is a choice. So it's the choice that we make, and this is an opportunity. Like the eYRC is in its 10th edition, and as you know, the registrations are going on. The last date is 20th of September. So this is an opportunity, this is a choice that we can make to learn and enrich our lives. Yeah. So as you know that this year the competition is also gone international. So there is not just international competition, but it is an opportunity to learn from students across the globe. So let's not miss this opportunity. With that, let me call upon Abhishek, who's in his final year at NIE Mysore, and let me invite him to talk about his journey, his experience of participating in not just eYRC, eYIC, and also doing an internship. So Abhishek, most welcome on this eYantrik forum.
Thank you for the lovely introductions, Anuj sir. So as Anuj sir said, I've been to not only eYRC but eYIC as well. However, let me talk about eYRC first. I feel that eYRC is a vivacious competition where, I also didn't know anything before I entered it. I just entered it on a whim with my friends because our college had just established the eYantra laboratory. So our professor told, oh, there's a competition set by eYantra from IIT Bombay. Do you want to try and participate? And we being us, we were like, we don't know if we can do it, sir, because we've never done it before. Plus, it's a robotics competition. Where will electronic students like us, be able to do it? But then I found out that eYRC, being a vivacious competition, is very misleading. Even though it says eYRC, even though if you don't know anything, you get an opportunity to learn and you get an opportunity to then compete. So I feel that us being electronic students, we had no clue that we had to do ROS or ROS2 or things like that. Our bot was the Sahayak bot, which was basically we were supposed to simulate the bot going to a target, saving the people, and coming back. That was the general idea of the Sahayak bot. I had no clue what to do the first time when we went into the competition, and then we were like, okay, they gave us some material to start off with. And even though I didn't go all the way to the finals like Shyama did, I can certainly say with, I can say with determination, I can say that I learned a lot because I had never heard of robotic operating software ROS in my life. And this is a skill that I learned throughout the competition. And I get to apply it in my resume because it was so interesting that I kept on learning about it even after the robotics competition. And I found out that there are always new ways and new things you can learn about, and you can incorporate it into your field as well. And that's what's so great about eYantra competitions, because it's not just, doing a competition because you're good at it. It's how quickly you can learn something, how quickly you can innovate something so that you can probably go further in the competition. It just not focus on normal, mug up and apply kind of routes, which I found very interesting. And yes, as for the internship part, I was fortunate enough to get selected in the interviews after the competitions, eYRC and eYIC, and I was very nervous. I thought I'd never get selected because for my project, which I did, which was music genre classification and audio speech remixing. So there, I didn't know anything about machine learning, which was one of the criterias I had to get selected for. I came solely on the basis of knowing digital signal processing and the other one, which is control systems. Those were the two criterias for me to apply for this topic. But I was lucky enough to get in, and again, I learned so many new things because I'm not a person who really was into machine learning. But again, I got the opportunity to learn about machine learning and how I was very, learn something and to be able to apply it. I think that's where I found what's unique in the competition. When you put it out from everywhere else, the competition, the internship, not a lot of places give you some starting material. You put your base on deadlines, ensuring that you work on it, and ensuring that even the mentors or everybody who's helping you throughout the competition, the YouTube live session, cleared out your doubts and all that. So that's what I felt.
Steve Jobs, where he kind of said that learn continually. There is always one more thing to learn. So, like when you share that, everything was new to you, but still you took on the challenge to kind of take it on, and learn it, implement it, master it, try it. So, with that spirit, let me also call upon another powerful eYantrik, Shyama, who also participated in eYRC, was a finalist. She was in Nirakshak Bok theme, and she was also an intern. And now Shyama has also joined eYantra. So let us hear from her about her story. Shyama, please come on board. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I'm from College of Engineering, Trivandrum, and as I said, I was a participant last year in eYRC in the Nirakshak Bot theme. So, like Abhishek said, at first we were also skeptical about joining the competition because we had pretty much no prior knowledge in robotics. So, and we were almost sure that we wouldn't make it to the finals. And also it was online, so we were not sure how we'll be working together in an online environment. So but the thing is, once we started working, we gained confidence like bit by bit with each task which was given, because all the tasks that were given to us were so well designed that we got a very gradual learning experience. And as to since it was online, we didn't face much issues in that regards too. So, as I said, the main thing which was very unique about eYRC is that it's not just a competition. Like Abhishek said, it's not just a robotics competition, but it is a platform for you to learn more and, get many soft skills which are highly essential today. So the thing is that you're not directly going to build a robot in your first task. That is not your first task. So many tutorials about the softwares and the tech stacks which are required for the actual task is given to you initially, so that it kind of ensures that even though you're a beginner in all this, you still can participate in this, and you can achieve what you want if you're actually willing to spend some time on this. So actually, like to sum up my experience before and after eYRC, I would say that it transforms you in many ways. And also, it's not just about gaining some like technical knowledge. It's an opportunity for you to develop many soft skills which you need today. And after the finals, I got the internship at eYantra. Again, that was very great because I got to work in a new and a very interesting domain. As Abhishek said, we were in the same project. So yeah, that was something unique. And I feel that the internships here are a bit more unique because you're not just doing some work which is assigned to you by someone. We could actually try and work out new methods for solving real world problems in our own ways. So there is no one forcing you to do this or do that. You just find yourself in it. So and after that internship, I got the job at eYantra and IIT Bombay. So the thing is, starting from a competition, I was actually able to get an internship and a job at IIT Bombay, which is kind of a big deal because almost a year ago, when we were just discussing about enrolling for a competition, I had no idea where this was gonna take me to. So the thing is, what I would say is, it doesn't matter if you get into the finals or get into the internship or the job. Just go for it and just participate in eYRC because that will definitely teach you something which you will not learn in your college. So yeah, that's it from me.
Okay, very, very nice, Shama. I think it's very encouraging to know, that how, again, like Abhishek shared, starting from scratch. So it's like, I came across this quote, which is by an anonymous person, but it is very apt for what both of you have shared. It says that today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. So both of you, kind of talked about the things that, in the internship, you build something which is so interesting. Like, to be very honest, nobody hears a project on, a music and technology, kind of coming together. So at least at this level, but you got this opportunity and you have the opportunity to build a future, that is the tomorrow. So why waste it? Why not capitalize on it? With that, I would, for our viewers, Shyama, can you share about how did you divide work amongst the team members? How did you form the team? So let's say, did you have people from different branches in your team, or how was it? Can you help our viewers to know about it?
Yeah, so basically, my team, we were all from the same branch and we were all in the same class. So we all were from electronics background. But initially, as I said, we were all beginners. So we didn't want to overload our work because we were in the final year. So we had the final year projects too. So what we did was, like, we were a team of 4 people. So like two of us were concentrating more on the image processing and path planning related works, and the other two were focusing more on the simulation softwares and all that. So that is how the work division was done, and the main thing was, we had to like balance our academics too with this. So I think that kind of a work division works for everyone because you can actually learn about everything, but when you focus more on one thing, it's a bit more time efficient. And that was our strategy for participating in eYRC. Yeah.
Okay, that's useful, Shama. I think very useful. Abhishek, did you face moments where things were not working? There is a bit of frustration that sets in when you're not able to solve certain things. So, did you come across situations like these, and what should one do when one finds oneself in a situation like this?
Well, Anuj sir, since you're telling so many quotes, I also got a quote when I listened to this question. There is a very famous sculptor I used to look at. His name is Michelangelo. And he said, if people knew how hard I worked to gain my mastery, it wouldn't seem so wonderful at all. So, there are certainly times, especially in the competition, where you're frustrated not only because some things don't work, but some things don't go as fast as you expected. Especially trying to balance eYRC, eYIC studies together. you want to try and create, as much time efficiency as possible. But there are times when you have to calm down and you have to rethink on what you do. Because as Orson Scott said, if you try and you lose, then it's not your fault. But if you try and all of us lose, it's because of your fault. And there is no I in team. So wherever one person can't think about it, you always refer to your team, because you want ideas from others' perspective as well. We, especially in the eYRC, we would just sit, especially for the first task, because we didn't know anything about it. We were like, why isn't this robot moving the way we want it? What should we do? How do we get to the next stage? Our first task was the turtle simulation, and after that we had to move our robot from one point to another point by tracking its by moving around an object. And we were like, why is it hitting the object? So we would think about it and none of us would get the solution. And then suddenly at 11:30 in the night, somebody would accidentally trip over something and be like, this is why this didn't happen. And you have those moments. The more hard you work, I think people say it's 50% hard work and 50% luck. But I don't feel that the other 50% is luck also. Because you're working so hard, some way or the other, the path opens up for it. And it certainly isn't an easy path, because we tried our hardest and we couldn't get to the finals. But I have no regret about it, because we tried so hard and we learned so many new things. So I think teamwork and just constantly never giving up, that is your those are the keys to like cracking the competition.
Okay, very, very interesting, Abhishek. Thanks for sharing, and very, very inspiring. Is there anything that you all would like to share with our viewers which will help them in the competition? So some do's or don'ts or anything that you have in mind which will help them in the this year's competition of eYRC?
Shyama, you want to go ahead first?
Yeah, sure. So I think, as I said, like this is not, it's very normal to feel that doubt about yourself, in the beginning, that will you be able to complete it, till which task will I be able to complete. So I think that doubt, I think almost everyone who's joining for this competition will have that in the beginning. But if you're actually willing to work for this, and if you actually can spend time for this, I think it's not easy. I would say that it's not easy, but yeah, you can actually achieve something. You can learn something new. So it's not about like getting into the finals. I think everyone should at least participate, at least once, so that you get an experience. You actually get to know what actually engineering is other than your syllabus. So I think, yeah, everybody should participate at least once. That's what I have to say. So.
Nice, Shama. Thanks for sharing that. I think, yeah, definitely. And Abhishek, I'm very curious to know, how did you manage eYRC, eYIC? Because like I remember yesterday session, there were students asking, or when we had this live session, students were asking that how do we manage our exams with eYRC and the academics with eYRC. So I think you both touched upon that aspect of managing academics and this, but another long format competition like eYIC, eYRC, how did you manage that? Can you share about that?
Yes, sure, Anuj sir. So we all had our online classes. So what I had done exactly was I would actually juggle between the three. It's not very difficult. I think people would find it difficult if they are distracted by other things. So the first and probably most important thing I did was I put an app lock on my phone. So I could use social media apps for only a certain amount of time. I still have it on my phone. So after, a couple of hours or a couple of minutes, it won't let me inside. And I'd given the password to my mother. I told, Mama, you put the password and don't let me use it unless it's absolutely necessary. Because I think after a point, we get so distracted by doing other things and wasting time when we can be more productive. And I think it is not that difficult, although it's not like I would, work 12 hours a day and sleep 5 hours a day and things like that. My life is actually very comfortable. So I would do my academics, which were my online classes. I would attend it till like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. I would start my college at 10 a.m. in the morning. So what I would do is before I started my classes, I would get up and I would work on eYRC for 2 hours, 3 hours max, because I'm not the only one doing it, right? I have an entire team to back me up behind me. So I would get up aram say fresh first thing in the morning. I would crack at eYRC because I felt that's the competition which needed more attention, because you're learning something new and you're trying to implement that and you're trying to work on something that might not succeed the first time. And after my college, for 2-3 hours in the night, I would work on eYIC. That's all I would do. I wouldn't work like 5 hours, 6 hours, or no. Of course, there are times when I had to work more for eYRC and I had to work less for eYIC. But eYIC is, again, it'll be coming up probably. It's the innovation challenge where you're free to get creative ideas. And in fact, eYRC helped me, to attain some ideas, because the project, the theme or solution we came up for the disaster management team was for industrial disasters, where we created a gas leakage detection robot. So I was looking at eYRC. Oh, okay, let's try and implement ROS in eYIC also. So even though it may feel like you're doing two things, it's all really connected. You get influenced by ideas. And more importantly, I think it is important to see how other people are, because it's such a diverse competition, as you said, which stretches out with so many other stages. You see everybody on your YouTube live sessions which you conduct for the competition, where they clarify doubts, and you see not only your bots but other theme bots also as well, and you're like, oh, this is correct, how can I implement this into my work? It's not like people leave you in a blind path and say, go, if you fall you fall, if you get up you get up, type of thing. There is always guider marks. You should just look at them and make use of them. I think the first few weeks we really struggled because we didn't attend any of the YouTube live sessions on how to debunk things, or didn't ask questions when we were supposed to ask them. But as we caught on to the trend of asking questions, getting in touch with our mentors, constantly asking them, and our mentors would be available 24/7. So it was a piece of cake, in fact. The only thing that was hindering my performance was I would spend ages and ages on Netflix and social media after college because I was jobless. And I just cut that down to like 1 hour or 2 hours a day. And I was able to quite easily manage it, in fact. And people may think, it's a very big task to do two things, but it is actually very simple. And I think if you look at your own life, if you once you join the competition, you feel like there's not a lot to do. You're not swept up in the moment because it is so well thought out and planned out. As Shyama said, it's not like you try to simulate a robot on your first day. It's a gradual learning process. So I think that helps a lot to, ease the blow of doing two things simultaneously. And that's how I was able to manage it.
Okay, thanks, Abhishek, for sharing that. That'll be very helpful, for viewers. Shama, is there any technical things that should be kept in mind while participating in eYRC, like certain things that you might have learned, or you're like, okay, this is like absolutely not to do things, or these are the things you should take care. So anything that you've come across, or anything with respect to debugging, or the way you handle your files, etc., anything that you want to share which will help students who are participating?
Yeah, so about the technical things, I guess the first task, before the first task also, you were given many tutorials, like how to set up your system, or a basic knowledge about what all technologies you'll be using in this. So I think it is very important to follow that, like step by step, do that perfectly, and try to go through every tutorials or material that's given to you, because that will really help in completing all the tasks till the end, going till the end. That is very important. So that is one thing. And actually, not just the tutorials, when you go through the tutorials, you get an idea of what all we'll be using for this theme implementation, which all softwares or which language we'll be using, and all that will be clear to you. So I guess you need a bit more, take a bit more effort and learn more about it. A lot of online resources are available today, so there is no question of like where can I get this or get that. Everything is available on Google. So I think first, when you're going through that itself, it's important to learn a bit more, so that actually it will help you in the later task. Maybe not in the first or second task, but later it will be helpful for you. So I think that is one main thing you should be concerned about. And also about the deadlines, I think it may seem that you have a lot of time for completing one task, but that is not true, because when you get stuck in between, and at the end you think everything is in a rush, especially if you are in the final year or anything. You have your academics, exams, and the other projects, and all that stuff will be there. So I think it's not advisable to wait till the last week of submission for just starting the task. I would say that start it early and try to finish it before the deadline. So that is some things which you should take care about.
Okay, thanks, Shyama, for sharing that. Abhishek, you want to add anything?
Not really, apart from the fact, a couple of obvious things. Don't use a virtual box to do your coding. Make a hard partition and try to do your coding, because I think the first I noticed in eYRC, a lot of people were trying to do it on their virtual machine, which would just slow down time. And when you can do like a physical partition, why would you do something like that? And communicate. If there's any problem, you hit a road high, communicate with your teammates, communicate with the forum, ask questions even though you think they're silly. Ask questions whenever you get a doubt, because if you don't ask questions, you won't find a solution. I think that's the only thing I want to add on to Shyama's point, sir.
Okay. Thanks, Shyama and Abhishek, for sharing so candidly about your experience. There are so many insights to take away, from what you both eYantriks have shared, and I'm sure students will find it useful. The ones who are there with us on this session, and the ones who will watch it later on. So I really thank both of you to take out time. And I want to just quote one, something that Jackson Brown Jr. had shared, and I feel it is very apt for this competition. He said that nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. So, like, this is an opportunity which is there in front of us. I think we should capitalize on it and maximize on it, so that we can really create something, build something, do something, learn something. So With that, I would like to thank the entire eYantra team. I would like to thank our two eYantriks, Shyama and Abhishek, and everyone associated with eYantra for making learning so much fun. Yeah. So with that, thank you so much. And the last date for registration is 20th of September. You can go to the portal e-yantra.org. So portal.e-yantra.org, and you can get all the information out there. You can get in touch with the team members, eYantra team members, and they'll be happy to guide you. So with that, take care and stay safe. Thank you.